Hey, what's up? Today is a break day, all right? It's a catch-up day, so you've got chance to catch up on what you've missed. If you've fallen behind for whatever reason, busyness or whatever, cool, catch up, all right? So if you're already caught up, I'm just going to do a brief how to study the Bible for yourself thought today, and that's all we're going to do, all right? So I'm not going to talk about anything, although I will zoom in on one verse today specifically. So in your interpretive toolbox, all right, your toolbox of tools we use to crack open the jewel of the word so that it sparkles as it ought to, all right? Here's a technique. Sometimes you got to zoom in on a key verse, all right? So zooming in on one verse. I've talked a lot about big picture interpretation, historical context, and zooming out to see what other verses are around it, that sort of thing. And we're going to talk about now zooming in on a key verse. So for instance, let me give you, how about Matthew, let's see, I wrote down here, Matthew 16:24. Matthew 16:24, which says, if anyone would come after me, let him deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. This is a powerful verse for understanding what discipleship means. What does it mean to be a part of the court of the king, right? And to be a part of this grand conspiracy? Well, the answer is that we're going to have to zoom in on that and say, if anyone wants to come after me, okay, there's discipleship. If anybody wants to be a part of this kingdom, he's going to deny himself, take up his cross, and follow me. Right. And so we're going to take it, we're going to find out the key words, we're going to break it down, kind of zoom in on that verse and break it apart and say, okay, what do those things mean? So if you take the words, deny yourself, what does deny yourself mean? It's not about self-hatred, right? It's about, it's about putting God's will above your own. It's about disowning your own agenda and replacing it with God's, right? Denying yourself, because we live a lot of our lives focused in on self-pity, sometimes self-loathing, right? Sometimes self-deception, but always self-will. Like, I want what I want, right? And I just want to point out that Jesus says, if you're going to come after me, you have to deny yourself. And then he says you have to take up your cross. Now, in that world, and today we talk about cross. Well, my boss is a pain; it's my cross to bear. But that's not what a cross meant. It wasn't a burden to bear back in those days. It was an instrument of death. Like, you took up your cross to go die on it. That's why you did it. And so there was no sense of people carrying crosses around. People were crucified on crosses, and that's what was going on there. So deny yourself. Disown your own agenda, take up your cross, die to yourself, right? And your self-will, your self-sovereignty, and then follow me. So what does it mean? It's an ongoing decision to walk in Jesus' ways and to trust him with your life, right? That's what we learn when we start zooming in on a key verse. Now, there's more ways to do this. I'm going to talk about later in this thing how to do a word study. So you can zoom in on a word and do a study to see how it's used. And I'm going to literally show you how to do that. But for right now, we're talking about zooming in on one verse and break it apart and then cross-reference it to see what else you can find. So a good cross-reference here might be Galatians 2:20, which says, I am crucified with Christ, nevertheless I live, yet it's not I, it's Christ that lives in me. So that's a powerful way to cross-reference and say, oh, so yeah, this seems like that's exactly what he's saying. I'm crucified with Christ, right? But yet nevertheless I live. So there's an ongoing life that connects with that anyway. So I just want to put that out there on this catch-up day, and I hope you enjoy your catch-up day and get a lot of progress made on catching up. Thanks. See you tomorrow.